Round two, we're underway. Solid start from Pole, even though he's got a wheelie, but Martin is flying through. Look at the Ducatis, also good start from Miguel Oliveira. It did not work out for one of the Ducatis.
Launch off the line, absolutely incredible. His teammate Johan Zarco in second place. Great start by Oliveira from 12th up to 3rd briefly. Maybe a jump start for the German. We'll keep a close eye on that. Martino leads.
Bagnaia got a terrible start. He's down to 10th behind the two factory Yamaha. Mir in 6th.
Well, at least we know tonight he engaged the launch control on that factory GSX-RI. Yeah, the Suzuki's just where they wanted to be. Not the starts though for Jack Miller and Pecco Bagnaia. Miller 7th, Bagnaia 10th through the 3rd.
But it is Jorge Martin that leads. It's a Pramac Ducati 1-2. Oh, there's Rins up the inside of Miguel Oliveira. Nice
in front tyre. A journey into the unknown for the 4 KTMs. A bit loose there from Mir.
Twitch from Johan Zarco's front end, and that Oliveira in 5th. Joan Mir then behind. Here comes Mir now. 2 Suzukis now inside the top 5.
Run the pace at the front. He's been picked up by Aleix Espargaro, Alex Rins, and now Joan Mir, the world champion.
On to the start finish. Quartararo also trying to get on terms. Jack Miller passing Quartararo into turn 1. Oliveira back through on Joan Mir. Ooh, sitting up there was Pecco Bagnaia. That was a move on Maverick Vinales, the race winner from Sunday. So Maverick Vinales is losing.
21st on the grid, 21st over the line at the end of the first lap. No progress made by the doctor.
And if Maverick Vinales is winning again tonight, Ducati sweep on through.
Oh, Mir properly mugged off Quartararo there. Ran the Frenchman well wide. Miller came on through. Then from the German, although he hasn't capitalised on it, he's down in 18th place.
It's still Martin that leads from Zarco and Aleix Espargaro. Also, a really good start from Brad Binder, by the way.
So then Martin by over 0.4 of a second clear of his Pramac Ducati teammate Johan Zarco. At what point does Jorge Mario right out the marbles? You can't get on the gas too early there with it being so dirty and dusty, and Pecco Bagnaia almost swept through as well.
ATMs are going well in the early stages of this one. Oliveira 5th, Binder in 9th.
Well, we know the KTM couldn't make the medium front tyre. Alex Rins is the man to keep an eye on in 4th place. He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, a 55.189.
Not facing any nerves at the moment, does he? As we start the 3rd lap of this race.
His start was sensational. He made a phenomenal...
Aleix Espargaro up through. He's in hot. Zarco on the cutback, goes back through into 2nd, on board with Rins, who's seen all the
corners then for Aleix Espargaro, briefly into 2nd, ran wide, let Zarco through, and now Rins has got through as well.
Yeah,
Suzuki's, because they've already got themselves quite strong positions, and we do know, we keep saying it, yes, we know Alex Rins having worked his way through quite early on here tonight to be a real strong contender late on.
Jorge Martin at the moment, he could face some trouble late on.
You can't believe that this guy has been on a Motogp bike for less than a fortnight.
Here comes Rins. Here we go into turn 16, the final corner here in Qatar. So close you can touch.
Mir's falling all over his rear tyre. The world champion can't find a way through. And there's no way that Rins is going to catch any slipstream to power. Last week's race, it will certainly be having an impact on Ducati's top speed.
Fastest laps of the race for both of the factory Ducati.
Vinales still down in 10th place. 55 flat from the race winner of a week ago. On that last circuit, he did take back on Pecco Bagnaia. Looking further down the order, Franco Morbidelli, he's not made any headway. 13th for him. Ahead of Webber, he's 0.3 of a second behind Iker Lecuona. Still stuck in 21st place.
Simon, you got some observations earlier.
Qatar, and look at him go.
Yeah, it's a good start from Oliveira. We just mentioned that, and the thing is, it's just out of... Also a good start. He's behind the 2 factory Yamahas. Alex Rins closes on the tail here. Johan Zarco and Trubiger.
Got the momentum as well, the drive through to 15 and just eased up the inside of Johan Zarco. It wasn't an easy pass, but he
winds it up to try and go back past Alex Rins into turn 1, and it's as easy as that.
Tough then here in Qatar too, and it's still Jorge Martin, our surprise shock pole man from last night, that's making the front running. Now, Rins is having another nibble at Johan Zarco, and he's found a way through this time, but again he runs in wide, and Zarco...
Alex Rins up the inside into turn 6. This time, it does stick.
Remind you of Moto2 2016 and
Ducati, Suzuki, Pramac, Ducati, Aprilia, Suzuki, KTM. Factory Ducatis and front
Michelin rubber on Pecco Bagnaia there. That was really close. Bagnaia standing firm ahead of him.
It's made from number 12. The race winner from 7 days ago is in 10th. Motogp is a funny old game.
At the moment, Vinales has kept his powder dry. Yes, he's not where he wants to be. He didn't get the start he wanted, but let's watch this replay. Backwards, I think he thought he'd moved it. I think he did move. and then hesitated. Of course, because he didn't gain an advantage, it wasn't a jump start. Oliveira,
Duki and a Ducati trying to stay in the game. Great job so far for number 88. Of course, he goes to his home Grand Prix.
now then, can Alex Rins try and put a bit of daylight between himself and Johan Zarco in third place to avoid the slipstream?
Asked his first question here. Alex Rins desperately trying to find a way through on Jorge Martin.
Yeah, there's nothing he can do about it. That's the problem. He's got to try and get the brilliant drive out of turn 16 to break the toe of Zarco. Easier said.
Alex Rins further back there. That's Fabio Quartararo, who's been trying desperately to find a way through
on that for some time here. And Martin, Rins, Zarco and Aleix Espargaro are just starting to pull away at the front. They're dragging Mir along as well.
Fancy it on board now with number 42 Alex Rins. We then head into turn 16.
Huge shout out to Aleix Espargaro. They have had 5 top 6 finishes in their Grand Prix history. Here comes Zarco, and it's going to be an inevitable outcome. There's nothing that Rins can
back through on the helpless helpless Yamaha down the start-finish straight. By the way, fastest lap of the race, Aleix.
Weekend it was a slow, not slow, but not on his red-hot pace in the first 2 or 3 laps. That newer Aprilia RSG. Aleix Espargaro confident he can start picking his way through the pack.
Alex Rins still trying to find a way through here. Cannot find a way through here on Miguel Oliveira, who's just starting to drop back a bit.
Yeah, on that last lap, there are only 4 men in the one. Vinales, Miguel Oliveira, unfortunately, with that medium front tyre gamble, he's got such a lack of knowledge and experience.
Still the Pramac Ducati 1-2. Still Jorge Martin on lap 7, leading in his second.
Not even done 1 Grand Prix and a half yet in Motogp.
To the tail end of that Ducati of Johan Zarco's, but he's not passing it.
And here comes Bagnaia, top of your picture. Mir, absolutely not the world champion, Mir.
Yeah, and Bagnaia has now got his eyes set on the Aprilia of Aleix Espargaro. There's still
Oliveira, he's very, very quickly got his hooks into this lead group and found some seriously good rhythm. That's why he's just on the fastest lap of the race.
Knows that he can get to the end of the race and still deliver a pretty good pace.
Yeah, he said, pretty confident, having all end. It was a surprise and a shock, he wasn't expecting it. That big tyre drop-off from the rear last weekend.
It feels like Mir's trying to get back in on the action as well, the world champion. Further back, the 2 factory KTMs are now 10th and
choice to go for the medium front tyre, given the fact that the soft wasn't lasting. Well, they did have a choice, of course they could have run the soft, but it wasn't going to last the race. Alex Rins, turn 10, up the inside of Johan Zarco. He's made a couple of passes on the Frenchman, but Zarco just slipstream behind your race leader, Jorge Martin.
It was sort of around the halfway distance, wasn't it, where the Ducati last week. He doesn't want to do the same thing again.
And pay attention, Steve, the 2 quickest men on the circuit right now are the Monster Energy. Vinales, 54.846 from him on the last lap. That was half a second quicker than your race leader, Jorge Martin.
From Quartararo and Vinales on lap 9 to manage to get through. Again, asking questions here, Alex Rins. Not going wide anywhere, everything is perfect.
He's the epitome of cool, calm and composed, isn't he, right now?
Rins was really miffed last week not to be in the hunt for the podium.
Turn 10, you can just see how tighter for him to lunge up the inside of Jorge Martin, but with Ducati you can see having to make his lap time in sectors 2 and 3 in a different way.
Take the lead of the race. No, again though. Brilliantly late on the brakes is Jorge Martin, and he just about holds on. Will
to blitz the Ducati down a 1 kilometre straight like it is here in Losail.
9 from Alex Rins. It must be so frustrating as a rider going so well like that to be passed on the straights. Time and tails of these 2 guys. He's lapping pretty well at this moment.
Binder and Oliveira going in the opposite way, unfortunately. The 2 factory cake teams, he only finished the race out of respect for his team. Just a bad feeling from the rear end of that Petronas Yamaha SR team, with a couple of tenths in his back pocket to Johan Zarco, who we're looking back to. Rins now back with Rins. Found some really good speed at this stage of the race. He can see that the leaders aren't getting away from him, so he's not having to over-stress that rear.
Is getting a bit nervous.
Well, if they think they've got no fingernails left now, give them another 13 laps and let's see what they're like. Guess how much rear tyre is Jorge Martin having to use up here to keep himself in the lead? Well, we'll find out, won't we, over the next time.
Managing to
either, Steve, because he's got really good rhythm. He's got pace, no doubt about it. He's reeled off a couple of high 150.
Espargaro and says thank you very much and moves up into 5th.
The Ducati doesn't even need a slipstream. As soon as they get that thing wound,
It's when they get it up to 5th and 6th gear. They're just lacking that little bit of outright top speed. Nothing he can do.
Now 3 going through, and that's where it all went wrong for Aleix Espargaro coming out of turn 16. He lost 3 places from 16, as you can see there,
he's done it again.
quicker than the race leader, Jorge Martin.
Again, on that last lap, there's only one man in the 54.
Out to Brad Binder in 10th, who's just put in the 2nd fastest lap behind Maverick Vinales, the 2nd quickest man.
Huge job by him. Valentino Rossi's taken Danilo Petrucci finally. Rossi in 20th spot. He's 4/10 of a second though behind
Motogp race, but we're getting close to that point. Oh, a moment there for Alex Rins in 3rd.
Top 9.
Love that. Fantastic stuff. Very exciting. Edge of the seats here in the commentary box, that's for sure. On to the start finish.
Jorge Martin as we hit the halfway point. Is Vinales attacking his teammate Fabio Quartararo? No, not quite close enough in the braking zone. Looking very, very comfortable on that Pramac Ducati.
The 2 factory Ducatis here are trying to gang up on Alex Rins. Background, Binder. Pol Espargaro's just picked up some pace as well on the Repsol Honda. He's in 11th now. He's just gone past Miguel Oliveira.
The Aussie in 5th spot. Found a way through on the factory Suzuki of Joan Mir. Can he find a way through?
Don't think we've seen all the cards from Joan. Oh, Rins! How has he stayed on? The front was gone.
Wow. Yeah, it was last week as well, Steve, recovering from a poor start. He said he destroyed the front and the rear tyre. Big, big warning there. Alex Rins, big, big moment, big scare, heart in the mouth for him.
Look at this, oh, what a view we've got of it as well from Zarco. Has gone past the Aprilia of Aleix Espargaro, who looks like he's struggling at this moment in time in the race. At the halfway point, Aleix is still a Pramac Ducati 1-2. We've got 4 Ducatis in the top 5. Make that 3 Ducatis in the top.
Manager Gigi Linear, in MotoGP history, we have never had a Ducati lockout of the podium. Looking seriously threatening as well in 5th.
I just want to say as well, Matt, keep an eye on Joan Mir, because he's sensibly just been watching with the popcorn behind Jack Miller in 6th place.
Rins has regrouped after his big scare a couple of laps ago. Very quickly, we won't have a Ducati top 3, we could potentially have a Ducati top 4 when Miller gets that Desmos Adichie wound up to top gear down the straight.
That's the 2nd time Mir has had contact with a rider out here, and it's very unlike Joan Mir as well.
Miller frustrated. Mir was pretty frustrated.
Well, Mir knew it was a bit cheeky. That's why he sticks his leg up here to say, yeah, he's not that far away. He's got Pol Espargaro and Enea Bastianini round his tail. Bastianini again.
Oh, that was Rins. That was
side.
Big,
they
big
bash
contact.
into each other.
Yeah, hand up from Jack Miller. Wow, those two are having some big, big scares.
And now the 2 buddies, Maverick Vinales and Miller, almost made contact.
Getting pretty feisty out there right now, isn't it, here in Qatar? And Jack Miller.
Mir went wide. Oh, blimey, I couldn't see what happened there. I'll have to have another look at that. On here, still Martin that leads from Zarco. In 3rd is Bagnaia. Back in 4th is Rins, still in it as well. Pol Espargaro, oh, Ecolecona's crashed out of the race. Take 3, a nightmare for them. Pol Espargaro here now is the number 44. Simon, you got something to add?
Yeah, guys, what I can see there, and before Jack getting in front, frustrate the heck out of those Yamahas and Suzukis. The thing is, guys, that's why we're seeing things like collisions happening.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for your observations there. There's so much more to come here in this race.
I mean, who knows what's going through Jack Miller's head, but from the outside looking in, of course, we'll find out after the race, but that will look up.
He's looking quite tidy, isn't he, lap time-wise? He's getting himself well placed. He's now up into 4th. And Pol Espargaro last lap.
He was confident in terms of his race pace. Poor qualifying down in 15th. He can't get any pace. Martin, he hasn't seen the rear tyre of anybody in this Qatar Grand Prix at the moment. Zarco's still 2nd.
Sorry, Matt, this ahead of him. So he is going to have to get his gloves off, as Simon mentioned, in the infield and find a way through on them. But if he can, he's got Rins regrouped as well, hasn't he? Cannot call this again.
Well, if you picked a favourite after FP4, which gives you an indication of where Pete's a bit wide, though, and Quartararo just picks him straight back up and says, I'll have the place back, thank you very much.
That was a move. That was a move. On lap 15. Incredible. Through we go. Other rookie has also joined the party.
We've had fireworks already here, haven't we, in Doha? To his teammate Zarco. Aleix Espargaro's in way too hot into turn 1. That's allowed Maverick Vinales through.
That are able to even still be in contention here. Jorge Martin probably cannot believe his eyes.
And executed as it. Valentino Rossi at the moment, a very forlorn figure down.
Oh, sorry,
19th place.
There is Pol Espargaro, number 44, bringing his former teammate Brad Binder into this as well. He's doing an outstanding in fourth.
You would not have thought we'd be saying this on lap 16, but Jorge Martin could win this.
Heat history, and that record could be broken.
Certainly the closest top 15, Steve. The point scoring places down to...
Well, here we go, Fabio Quartararo, lovely.
Yeah.
Block pass, great. He's done it. That's one Ducati gone. He's up into podium position. And the rookie. The problem for Quartararo now, of course, is he's about to get blasted on the start-finish straight.
Yeah, and there's actually behind the factory Suzuki.
All wide. Pecco Bagnaia is way too high into turn one. Oh, Pol Espargaro.
Well, he needs his booking zone for turn number one.
It's so hard to know where to look at the moment.
Miller got rinsed, of course. Miller's got beef with Joan Mir, we know that.
And he can sniff another victory.
I mean, ordinarily at this stage race, Valentino Rossi only 9 seconds off the pace. 2.5 seconds covering the top 11 men over the line as we started lap 17.
Here's a replay then. Watch Pecco Bagnaia get to the bottom. That will be frustrating because Pol had a great ride up until then.
All that hard work being undone by just a tiny mistake in the braking on
Johann Zarco. These two guys, both from France, have not spent a lot of time racing each other.
So Jack Miller allowed to carry on his charge towards what would be a brilliant victory for him. The top 10, really.
It is incredible, isn't it? It is just incredible. Across the line we go.
55s. The expected tie drop for Jorge Martin just hasn't come. Miller picks up Fabio Quartararo into the first corner.
Don't, he says.
But he can't by Martin at all.
No, it's been such an impressive rookie display, and only really the true greats have ever been able to.
Vinales just starting to ghost his way into podium contention as well.
We thought it might be a battle between, but they're all there. The Suzuki's also. As it stands, Zarco would be championship leader going into Portugal, but forget the live championship for now. Not yet.
No, it's been a Pramac Ducati 1-2 pretty much from the get-go.
Oh, here comes Quartararo.
Oh, yeah.
That was lined up from a couple of corners.
So then Fabio Quartararo threatened this in FP4. He was very confident, supremely confident. Did 12 laps.
Two factory Yamaha boys. Here he goes. Here he goes. Through goes Fabio Quartararo, and for the first time in this race, Jorge.
Famous corner speed and edge grip there, working brilliantly for Fabio Quartararo. Up the inside of Martin that is not a slipstream. Martin was about 10-15 metres back. Nothing Quartararo could do. Quartararo got brilliant drive out of that final.
G Yamahas versus the Pramac Ducatis. Now, you've got to believe that Quartararo is going to line up another move in the next few corners and then try and
corner speed that Quartararo can carry.
So, it is at the front.
First lap is unbelievably close. The top 10 riders split by less than 2 seconds, and Air Bastianini in 11th. He's only...
Yeah, guys, to me, the only chance of a Yamaha or Suzuki winning is to come out of two.
That's exactly what they're going to try and do. Maverick Vinales then moves up into third place to go through on Johann Zarco. Just to 10th and 11th.
Well, Vinales,